So, Roy, the lessons learned, what can you share?
Yes. So I think and the most important one, and let me continue then on what you just said, Arjan, is you need to embrace experiments if you start working with elasticity, right? It's about setting a new price. It's about trusting the data in your organization, and it's about evaluating the results for that. So there should really be a continuous loop. Basically, there should always be in your organization, ideally, but specifically when you talk about elasticity, you want to make sure that that loop is closely working, and you really embrace that way of working with it. Because also, if your data quality is not high enough, and that's the second point, you might need to experiment a bit more to create the different price points in order to enhance the data quality of these products, in order to get them into an elasticity strategy, right? So data quality is another very crucial step. And then there is another one and a third one. One thing we've definitely learned as well, and we shared with you in the beginning, not all products suitable for price elasticity, right? So if you're talking about products, it's a commodity product. It's the same level of service you're offering, but your competitor is offering it for 10 euros cheaper. You have to be competitive with that price, right? So there's nothing other way to differentiate yourself with. So then you can use an elasticity strategy that maybe based on your historical data would say, well, you should increase your price by 1 or 2 euros. That doesn't make sense, because in the end, it's the competitor, it's the price, the actual selling price, that really determines the consumer or your customer behavior. So in that case, it should be in a market-driven strategy. We also recommend to start small. We know it can be kind of scary to use price elasticity. The strategy by itself is rather complex and it's hard to grasp. We've also experienced that with companies we work together with. So start small, create the awareness, work with products you feel comfortable with, where you can do the experiment with. And once you get the results out of that, document it well so you can explain it very clearly to the rest of your team, but also to senior management, to show them what you have done and what the results are. And maybe you've learned that the products you thought were price elastic weren't. That also gives you something to learn and iterate upon. And that's where the loop is very important. So you start to learn how your products are behaving based upon price changes. And that's very valuable information from a pricing perspective, of course. Another thing is use proper guardrails. We already spoke a bit about it, but it might happen that an elasticity analysis would say, well, you should double your prices or triple it or cut it by half, because maybe your data quality is not good enough, right? So you always want to make sure you work with min margins, maybe floor ceiling prices, cap it, make sure that the price changes are maybe not more than 2, 3, 5% at a time, etc. So there are a lot of guardrails to make that strategy smarter. Or a very good one to use this one is, if you're not working with elasticity yet, or you don't have the tools to really work with it, you can use it just as an analysis and then experiment with it in a sense of for a promotion or enhance your cost base plus strategy, right? With the findings out of it. So it's important to really understand power of price elasticity, and I think we've shown a few of these cases already, but also the shortcomings, because it's really a simplified version of the market industry. So you need to enhance those findings with your industry knowledge and what's happening in the current market and industry. And last but not least, elasticity isn't just one optimization method, right? So there is a multitude of optimizations and pricing strategies you could use. We strongly believe that elasticity is a very good one, and most companies are making use of it, also the larger companies and corporations. But yeah, if your products are not suitable for it or you don't have the data quality, we can look into ways of improving the data quality. We can use other strategies to already start implementing dynamic pricing, of making smarter pricing decisions. So I think those are very important. If we go to the next slide, basically this is what we wanted to tell you for today with regards to the price elasticity and how it works in SYMSON and the lessons we've learned so far. And hopefully you got some knowledge from it. But also what's interesting, of course, is as we just showcased, we offer these pilots and these analyses if you want, and it's fully automated. We have the scripts, we have the data sciences people working, of course, to do these analysis, so we can fully guide you with it. So probably what will happen in a week or 2 weeks, you get a phone call from either me or Arjan, because we also would very much like to know, what did you think of this webinar? But also, are there more things you would like to dive us deeper into? Because of course we have limited time. So we're really looking into what should be the next webinar and what's another good deep dive session. But yeah, you also have, of course, the possibility to get the pilot with us. We can discuss that later specifically for your company if you're interested in that.